Welcome back to the Radiant You podcast. I'm your host, Lissa Cole, and today we are beginning a brand new season and a brand new journey together. This season is all about the book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and how these two simple words can open the door to peace, freedom, and radiance. When you hear the phrase let them, it might sound simple, but it's not passive. It's powerful. It's a practice in release, in choosing peace instead of control, in stepping out of someone else's lane and finally finding your own rhythm again. This is more than a book study. It's a guided journey of radiance. Through these weeks, we'll rest, release, and refocus together. And I'll help you connect Mel Robbins' insights to the Radiant You pillars that have guided our community from the very beginning. Let's start at the heart. The Let Them theory begins with a moment of awareness, a realization that you can't change how people behave, how they choose, or what they believe. You can only decide how you respond. Let Them isn't about apathy. It's about acceptance. It's about trusting that you don't have to chase, convince, or control in order to find calm. When we whisper, let them, what we're really saying is, let them do what they need to do. Let me stay grounded in who I am. And somewhere between those two truths, that's where radiance begins to glow again. In the Radiant You framework, we talk about 3 pillars: rest and review, the sacred pause before reaction; release and renew, that's the surrender that makes space for peace; refocus and recreate, that's the redirection toward what really matters. And in so many ways, the Let Them theory moves through these same rhythms. When you say let them, you begin in rest and review. You pause instead of push. You breathe before responding. You notice the urge to fix, and you choose stillness instead. As that pause deepens, you step into release and renew. You let go of trying to manage someone else's growth, emotions, or decisions. You release control, and that release renews your own spirit. And finally, you arrive in refocus and recreate. This is where you take the energy you once spent on control and pour it into creation, creating calm, creating connection, creating a life that feels aligned again. So how do we start? First, we take a deep breath and we whisper these 2 words, let them. That is where our journey begins, in the pause, in the release, and in the quiet recognition that peace doesn't come from control. It comes from trust. To get the most from this season, I encourage you to follow along each week using the Radiant You workbook or a journal of your own. To receive your workbook, please subscribe and message me, and I'll make sure that you get it. After each episode, take a few moments to reflect, to rest with the message, to write what stands out, to notice where you might be invited to let them. Listen, this is never about perfection. And this season isn't any different. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. Each week, we'll offer you a chance to pause, reflect, and grow at your own pace. Here's how the journey will unfold. Every week, I'll share key ideas from Mel Robbins' Let Them theory, a story, a truth, or a reminder that helps us see ourselves and others with compassion. Next week, we'll begin with chapters 1 and 2. We'll connect each lessons to one of the Radiant You pillars, and I'll share journaling prompts, questions, or a radiant practice you can carry with you through the week. Each episode will close with a let them, let me statement, a small but powerful affirmation to keep you centered in your peace. Here's an example. Let them go their own way. Let me stay anchored in grace. If you're following along in the workbook, you'll find space each week to write your own statement and reflect on how it shows up in your daily life. This is a season about returning to yourself, gently, fully, and radiantly. If you've been a part of the Radiant You journey for a while, you may remember our earlier conversations about boundaries, about learning to say yes to what aligns and no to what doesn't. Let them is the freedom side of boundaries. Boundaries protect your peace. Let them freeze your heart. It's how we practice releasing control while still standing firmly in who we are. When we let others be who they are, we also give ourselves permission to rest, release, and refocus. So as you step into this season, let your practice be simple. Notice the moments when you feel tense, reactive, or pulled to fix something that isn't yours to fix. Pause. Breathe. Whisper, let them. Then notice the softening that follows. That quiet clarity that reminds you that your peace is your power. Remember, this is a practice, and releasing control and letting them, that can be hard work. But I'm not leaving you. I am walking alongside you. This season is about freedom, the quiet and beautiful kind that comes from letting go. As we move through each chapter together, may you find rest in awareness, renewal in release, and radiance in refocus. Thank you for beginning this journey with me. The Let Them theory, a guided journey of radiance. I can't wait to walk alongside you. Thanks for being with me. It's so great to be back. And remember, if this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend and leave a review. Your support helps this podcast glow. As we walk through this season together, remember, radiance isn't about perfection or performance. It's about peace. It's a journey. And by simply showing up, you're already on the right path. It's about learning to rest, release, and refocus. one moment at a time. I'll meet you right back here next week as we begin our book study and our guided journey of radiance. So breathe in and out. Let them and let you be radiant. Go shine your light. See you next week.